Back in 1995, Linn County purchased the Mott Building and some surrounding property along the Cedar River for a little less than $400,000. Since then, part of the land was sold for a little more than $200,000, and another part was gifted to the city of Cedar Rapids to complete the amphitheater project. The only thing that remained was the Mott Building itself. Well, this past November, the county sold that building to a restoration company for $500,000. It allocated most of that money for two projects: Cedar Rapids Green Square Park renovation and the Arc of East Central Iowa. In a special report, Fox 28 News reporter Kevin Berry is here with what went into those decisions and why some say it might be an example of playing favorites.
Yes, Scott, the Linn County Board of Supervisors is tasked with spending money in a way that benefits the public good. So when a lot of money they weren't expecting suddenly became available after selling the Mott Building, the $500,000 question is, how do you measure public good?
Some people said, why not return it to the taxpayer? But we're returning it to the taxpayer in accomplishing projects that normally wouldn't be accomplished as fast as they could be without the sale of the Mott Building.
Linn County Auditor Joe Miller says county funds, dollars collected through property tax, have ended up going to many projects and nonprofits that the Board of Supervisors volunteer with. He says the most recent example that caught his attention was the $100,000 from the sale of the Mott Building that went to the Arc of East Central Iowa, where Supervisor Ben Rogers is on the board of directors. Miller says if he got that kind of money, he'd have to jump through hoops to allocate it.
I've experienced severe scrutiny, high scrutiny on my budget. I think that should apply to everyone.
When it came to awarding the cash, Rogers did recuse himself from the final vote.
I also limited any discussion I had with my board members on this project. I wanted to stay as far away from it as possible.
But minutes from the January 21st supervisors meeting show Rogers did ask the board to approve that one-time payment to the ARC. The thing is, there are no rules against any of this. The supervisors have the power to make these kinds of decisions, holding each other accountable, ultimately answering to the voters.
There's 5 full-time supervisors who are accountable to the people of Linn County through election.
The ARC is putting the money specifically towards Project Search, a program that helps people with intellectual disabilities from age 18 to 35 find jobs. That's designed to make up for lost services with options of Linn County being shut down. Rogers says it serves the public purpose by helping the handicapped.
They have the highest rates of unemployment and also one of the highest rates of discrimination within the workplace. So what this does is help solve those problems of making people employable so that they can contribute back to society and the greater good.
Miller says his concerns are with accountability, not the ARC.
Not to say that they're not worthy. It's just what are we getting for the tax dollars we're giving?
He says there are no tangible goals or numbers to judge how effectively the money is used, but there are some strings attached.
They come back and give us metrics and data on how the money has helped expand their efforts to find people with disabilities jobs.
Langston says the ARC will have to eventually tell the supervisors how many clients they're serving and how the program can expand. The funds are essentially seed money, allowing the program to grow and get others involved to support it long term. Another important point, the money from the Mott Building is not going directly into the county's general fund. It's going to a capital projects fund that gets used for one-time expenses, upgrading major pieces of equipment or buildings within the county above and beyond normal maintenance.
So we view it as these are one-time pieces of income that should be used for one-time costs.
Because of that, Supervisor Olson says it wouldn't make sense to put the money in the general fund, where it would be included in projects that need to be funded every year, or to reduce property taxes, because this revenue won't be around next year.
That's bad accounting. That's bad budget practice.
Miller says it shouldn't matter. It's all taxpayer money, and one-time expense or not, he's pushing for more accountability in deciding where the money goes and clearly defined goals to meet.
Let's put that public purpose in the public documents. So 5 years from now, when somebody asks, hey, where'd that $100,000 go? We'll have a record of it. We don't have that right now. I don't think that's good.
Supervisor Olson says with big money coming into the county bank account, it's on them to make their mission clear. He says so far, they've done that.
Over the next few months, we'll continue to explain the uniqueness of projects that we select with that money to help accomplish these projects that normally might take a few years.
For fiscal year 15, the ARC also already got $1,000 through a grant at the Supervisors Award to local nonprofits every year, and $13,000 through other payments out of the county's general fund for different services. The supervisors say right now there are no other projects under consideration for funding from the money from the Mott building from the rest of that Mott building sale. Kevin Barry, Fox 28 News.